Hey guys, I am live, but we are still having 6-something minutes to go. And we can say hi if you're watching here. Okay, say hi and let me know if you can see me and hear me. So we still have around 5 minutes. 大家好. Okay, now you can let me know where you watching this live from. We haven't officially started yet, but you can introduce yourself and let me know if you can see me well. Okay. So we still have around 5 minutes. 大家好. Okay, I can hear myself. That's good. Okay. Well, so if you can see me and hear me, make sure to let me know in the comment and let me know where. Okay, thank you. Can see you and hear you. Thank you so much. And if you hear any like echo or technical problems, make sure to let me know also in the comment so I can fix it right away. And today we're going to talk about the traditional character and the simplified character. What are the differences? Okay, so let me know where, first of all, let me know where you're watching this live from. I can see this. 大家你好。OK, 你们是哪里人呢？你们在哪里看这个直播呢？ Yep, can hear you. Thank you so much. OK, 你们是哪里人？哦，Chicago, 芝加哥。OK, 好。OK, 谢谢 see you and hear you. OK, 好，谢谢大家. So first of all, where are you watching this live from? And second of all, I want to know how much do you know about Chinese character? 你们对于这个汉字 Chinese character 知道多少? How much do you know about Chinese character? Somebody say 早安, so probably coming from Asia. OK. 很多人说，有人说台北，有人在台北看。Okay, in also in Taiwan. 3 minutes left. Okay. 好, so today we are going to talk about the differences between traditional and the simplified character. You're going to learn a lot from this live stream because I'm going to tell you the differences between them and my opinion on which one is easier. Is traditional really that difficult? Because a lot of people say traditional characters are too difficult. So we're going to take a look at that. Okay. 好，你们是big fan here. 谢谢你，谢谢你. Okay, sound and video good. 谢谢你们. 好, so another question I want to ask is, are you learning traditional or are you learning simplified at the moment? So if you are learning simplified, comment 1. If you're learning simplified, comment 1. And if you're learning traditional or you want to learn traditional, comment 2. Okay, let me know in the comment. Okay, Brazil. 好，巴西嘛，对不对？好，谢谢，谢谢。Okay, so if you're learning traditional, comment 2. If you're learning simplified, comment 1. Okay, let me know in the comment. I'd like to know that which one you are learning and which one you want to learn. 你们要学哪一种? Okay, 1. I see 1 here. Okay, about 2 minutes ago. 1. 有人说1, 有人说2, 2. All right, all right. 好, 2. Okay. 好，有人说 1 and 2. Thank you for letting me know. 还有 1. Okay. Neither. I want to learn how to write. Okay, you want to learn how to write, but which one? Simplified or traditional? Okay. 1. Okay. So you're learning 1 or 2? 1 simplified, 2 traditional. Let me know. Okay. And also you can tell me the reason. 1 is simplified, why? And 2 traditional, why? Okay. 1 so far. 现在是学那 1. Okay. Simplify. 谢谢。这个是美国的国旗吗？Okay. 好。2, okay, is there a reason that you want to learn simplify or any reason that you want to learn traditional? Also, let me know in the comment. Oh, UK 4 a.m. 好早啊 It's so early. 也太早了吧 Sorry, I missed this too many. Okay, here. 4 a.m. 也太早了吧 It's too early. Okay, 好。感谢你的参加 Thank you for watching. Okay. Need more reference. Where's that? Need more reference material for traditional. Good. Then you come to the right place because I'm teaching traditional. Since I actually explained the reason in my last live stream. There's just too many materials about Simplify, and I don't see any Mandarin teacher from mainland China are teaching traditional. So this is the reason I think that, okay, too little, like very few resources online are teaching traditional. So that's why I'm teaching, and it makes more sense because I'm from Taiwan. Okay, 有人在台湾念书 or study in Taiwan. That's why you want to learn traditional. 非常好. Okay. I'm learning because it's easy. Oh, okay. Learning Simplify. It's easy. Okay. Many people think that Simplify is easy. Is it really easy? Let's see. Okay. 好 9点半 p.m. Okay. 这个是在哪里啊 Okay. Figure it's widely used. Okay, Simplify is widely used. Of course, because China is much bigger than Taiwan. I mean, geographically. Okay, and they have like a lot of people there. Okay, so all right. 好，谢谢. Thank you for answering. I think some people say 1, some people say 2. And Matt here says, I would like to learn both. 非常好, good for you. But which one first? Okay, so now, let's get started. Let me know if you're ready. Hey, this is my student. 这是我的学生欸 Hello, 你好 Number 2. Okay, traditional. 好，来 let me know if you're ready. We're getting started right now. 我们现在要开始咯今天呢 as I said, today, 我们看一下今天我们要做什么 So, 今天 today, we're going to talk about is traditional character really difficult? Because I heard people say 大家都说traditional still difficult. Is it really difficult, or you just heard from other people you never really learned, so you think that's really difficult? Or is Simplified really simplified? Is Simplified character really that easy? Okay, we're gonna find out today. 好，我们今天呢就来看看 So let me know first if you are ready. Okay, and by the way, if you want more resources, just to let you know, if you want more resources about learning Chinese character, I do have some designs on my Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on my Instagram, you can go to Smart Mandarin Katrina Lee after this live stream. Follow me on Instagram because I have shown some designs of traditional Chinese character to help students memorize the traditional character on my Instagram. Free resources. A lot of free resources there if you haven't followed me. 好，那我看一下这里。Okay, 好 So 大家都说好了，那我们现在就开始吧。Let's get started. But first off, let me just turn on my file. If there's any problem, okay, technical problems or glitches, let me know in the comment, okay, during the live stream. 好，我们现在就等一下。Hold on. 取消 I could take this banner out. 好 开始吧。All right, now let's get started. Traditional versus simplified 汉字. Okay, if you had like zero, 真的 zero knowledge of 汉字. First of all, what is 汉字? In my previous live stream, we talked about 汉字 is it's Chinese character. 汉字 meaning Chinese character. You could say 中文字, you could say 汉字. Both means Chinese character. And today, traditional versus simplified. If you have zero knowledge of these, what I'm talking about, first of all, traditional 汉字, traditional characters are used in Taiwan and Hong Kong. So here's a picture of Taipei 101 in Taiwan. So in Taiwan, where I'm from, again, I'm from Taiwan because I still receive some comments asking me, how's China? How's the life in China? Unfortunately, I cannot tell you how's the life in China because I don't live in China and I am not from China. I'm from Taiwan, just so you know. And our mother tongue is Chinese. Mandarin Chinese, of course. Okay, so we use traditional characters. It's used in Taiwan and Hong Kong. And the other one people say is widely used, that is simplified character that is used in China and Singapore. But Singapore's official language is English, right? So even if you don't know how to speak Mandarin in Singapore, I think you could also survive very well. And in China, of course, they use simplified characters, okay? So what are the differences? Before we talk about that, we have to know that where do people, use traditional and where people use simplified. First, you know this already. 可以吗？没有问题吧？好 So why simplify, okay? Why there are the differences? First, we had to know. So to encourage literacy, the government of People's Republic of China in mainland China has promoted simplified Hanzi around 1950. I don't know the exact time, but you can Google that. It's around 1950, 1949, 1946, something like that. So that is why in China, the government, the people are using simplified Chinese character because it's simplified, because they want to improve the literacy. That is the reason. But I'm curious because, the reason, this is kind of off topic, but I'm just curious because the reason the Chinese government, they want to use simplify is because they want to encourage literacy. But from what I see in Taiwan, we never use simplify. We don't use simplify. Our government does not promote simplified character. We are using traditional Chinese character. But I could say like 95% of Taiwanese people in Taiwan, they know how to read Chinese character. The literacy rate is like really high, and the majority of people, they are educated. They have learned the character. They know how to read the character. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I don't think that the literacy rate or about the education or the literacy has really strong related to if it's simplified or if it's traditional. I think that if a country needs to improve the literacy, need to work on the education system, not to change the world, not to change the character. This is just my opinion, all right? So, but that's the government's opinion. Change the world, encourage the literacy. Well, you guys can check what's the literacy rate in China right now. So now let's talk about what are the differences. Now we know where people use simplify and where people use traditional. Now let's talk about the differences. Okay. So first I want to talk about how Chinese government, the government in China, how they change traditional to simplify, because you have to know that So you know the differences, right? So I give you a few different ways that how the government changed traditional to simplify. There are a lot, but I just pick out some, some common ones. First one is they merge homophones into one character. This is the first way they switch traditional to simplify. Okay, let's take a look how they simplify. This is a very classic example. The red one right here you see is the simplify, okay? And the blue one on the left, blue purple one here is the traditional. As you can see that traditional, there are two characters on the left. The first character is gan, meaning dry. And the other character in traditional is gan, meaning to do, or F-U-C-K, the foul language. So because these two characters, they sound very similar, but two different characters, but they sound very similar. So they changed that to this simplified one, okay, to on the right side. So the simplified one, gan, it could mean dry, or it could mean F-U-C-K. I think I remember that in my, like a while ago, I have a live stream talking about my trip to China, and I saw the menu says dry noodles. They use the simplified gan, okay? So gan mian, but this gan is also the homophones of F-U-C-K, the word. So I was confused because in my opinion, or in my idea, because I'm learning traditional, dry and to do, or dry and F-U-C-K, they are two different words in traditional character, but in simplified, they are the same. This one doesn't make any sense, but this is one example that how they simplify from traditional. Let's take a look at the second rule, how they change traditional to simplify. That's the second rule. Let's take a look at that. Changing shapes. This one is easier to understand. For example, the first one on the left, that's traditional, 长, meaning long, 长. And then on the right side, you see the simplify, that's also long, but they look very similar. They just change the shape, okay? And the next one is 书, book. The left side is traditional, book, 书. And on the right side is simplified, book, 书. They changed the shape. But why? I don't know. Because to me, it's redundant. You don't need to. They look almost the same. But maybe for writing, it's easier to write with simplified because you only have a few strokes. Okay. So I'm just showing you how they change from traditional to simplify. So the second rule they change is changing shapes like this. Number 3 is they omit the entire component. For example, let's take a look at two characters. The first character is kai, which we mentioned in our previous live stream. Kai is to open, okay? And they only keep the inside component, that's the simplify, on the right side. Remember in my last live stream, just my previous live stream, how people design or the origin of the character kai is there's a door and a doorknob, so you open the door. And in simplified character, they just keep the doorknob, the component, and omit the whole door component for the character kai. And the other one is factory. This one I really don't understand. They just omit the whole thing to become from factory to become factory, like only like 2 strokes. Okay, it's I was like, wow. First time I saw that simplify, I was like, whoa, okay, that is too simplified. But in my opinion, I'm biased. I love traditional because I think it looks more beautiful. Okay, writing is a lot of, a lot of strokes, but to read, I think it's beautiful to read. Okay, number 4, simplify the basic outline shape. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so this one, I'm busy with teaching right now. I'll take a look at the comment later, but if you have any questions or comment, you talk to each other in the comment section. Okay, so next one is, as you can see, I don't think this one needs to be simplified because men is easy already, and they simplify to the other shape, and I still don't understand why. I really don't understand why. I really need another Mandarin teacher from mainland China to tell me why the traditional become this simplified, because to me, this is redundant. You don't need to do this. The original one is good already. And the other one is 见. 见 meaning to see. The upper component meaning the eyes, but the simplified character, they just changed that totally into 2-stroke instead of the mu. Okay, if you learn a little bit character, you know the upper component is mu, is your eyes, but they changed that totally. So yeah, just show you how they change from traditional to simplify. And don't worry, you can watch the replay anytime. I won't take this down. So now here comes the question. Is simplified character easier than traditional character? I would like to know how you think. Okay, let me know what you think. Let me just come back. Okay, 可以吗？哦，好多留言呢。Okay, so let's see. Yeah, simplify is to make writing by hand easier. Yes, if you want to write by hand easier, of course. But nowadays, I don't think a lot of people are writing by hands. Like me, for example, my native language is, of course, Mandarin Chinese, but I don't write by hand very often. Okay. I too prefer traditional 见. Okay, this 见 you wrote here is simplified one. Okay. Here it says simplify is easier to write. Definitely easier to write. Okay, but are there people writing a lot nowadays? Like writing a lot of characters nowadays? Okay. So here it says, I would take simplify over traditional, 10 out of 10. Good. Okay. It's a personal choice. I would take traditional out of simplify. I'll take traditional. Okay. So next one. Let's see. There's a lot. Okay. Too small, the words. Okay, this one makes sense. As far as difficulty, it probably doesn't make much of a difference because, yeah, I think for, in my opinion, like I think for a beginner, it really doesn't make much, difference because they look all very complicated for zero beginner. Okay, zero knowledge beginner of Mandarin Chinese. Okay, yeah. I rarely saw traditional. Yeah, you don't see that a lot because they promote simplify. Yes. But if you come to Taiwan, then you don't see simplify at all a lot. Okay. Let me take one more. Okay. It's easier but more confusing. You mean simplify, or I think you mean simplify, right? It looks easier but more confusing. So let me just take one more. Ooh. Okay, here it says practicing traditional character instead of simplify. It's more beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, so I need to continue. I saw almost all the comment right here. Sorry, I'm kind of slow because the words really small for me, so I had to. Anyway, let me just come back. Okay, with my slide here. Let's move on. All right. Now let's move on to talk about, is simplified character easier than traditional character? Okay, I want to give you real life example. Okay, let's take a look at this character. Noodles, mian. This is a very important character, a word, and also a character. A very important one because people eat noodles all the time. And when you go to the restaurant, you have to order noodles, right? 我要给你们一个真实的例子, a real example, okay? The last one is traditional for mian, noodles, and the right one is the simplified for noodles. I hope I'm clear so far, okay? This is the very first time doing live stream teaching the differences between traditional and simplify. If there's anything you don't understand what I am talking about, let me know in the comment, okay? I hope I'm clear to you, my explanation and everything. Okay, how? Now you see the two character, you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna take the simplified one because it looks more simple. Yeah, it looks simple. But let me give you the idea behind the traditional character. This is how I teach my student in my program. I just take this out for you for the example, okay? As you can see from this traditional character, mian noodles, you have left component, left part, and the right component, the right part. Let's take a left component. The left component is also a character. It pronounced my. The left component, as you can see from my design, it means wheat and barley. I didn't make this up. This is the origin of this Chinese character. So in traditional, the left part is the meaning component because it provides the meaning to this character. Because noodles comes from wheat and barley. I'm not a farmer, I don't know, but I guess, okay? So the left part is the meaning component, shows you that, okay, wheat, barley, as you can see from the design, and on the right side, the right component, this character, this component, it is pronounced mian. And this component, the meaning of this component means surface or side or face. And so this component has nothing to do with noodles, as you can see, because the meaning of that is surface, right? So the right component provides the sound because the whole characters pronounce mian. So there are a lot of characters in traditional Hanzi. There are a lot of Hanzi like this. The left component, one component is the meaning component, and the other component is the sound component. One provides meaning, one provides the sound. This is the traditional character's origin. I just give you the origin with a graphic. And by the way, you can download this PDF file for free in the pinned comment below or in the description of this live stream. I'll give you this PDF for free so you can review if you want, and you can get this design for free. Okay, so I just want to give you the idea of this character. And now let's take a look at this one. So as you can see, left component plus the right component is the whole character, mian, noodles. Okay, that's the traditional character for noodles. And let's talk about the simplified characters, mian. This is the simplified character, noodles. So as you can see, in simplified, they only take one part, which is the sound component. They only take the sound component as the whole character to represent noodles, but actually this also means surface. So here, sorry, let me say that again. So this is noodles and this is surface. This is surface, okay? And this in traditional character means side, surface, or face. And this is how the origin of this character. So when you say 上面,下面,里面, this面, 上面,下面,里面, up, down, inside, this 面 means face, surface, side. If you want to eat noodles, 吃面 is this 面, this noodles. Okay, so this is traditional character. I just show you the idea. Okay, and let's take a look at this one. 面包. 什么是面包? What's 面包? You have 面 already, right? 面 means barley. 面, the left component is barley or wheat. So 面 is like noodles or dough. So what is 面包? 一样这个面 the same 面 here. And 包, what does the word mean? 面包. Okay, 我看一下哦。面包 bread. So you saw 面 the origin of this character 面, right? And let's take a look at 包. 包 is wrap. Okay, the meaning of 包 meaning wrap. So noodle wrap, dough wrap. So means bread. So this word meaning bread. 面包 bread. So this is how you can learn. Okay, of course, I'll talk about more strategy of how to learn characters in my next live stream, which is next week. But you could, this is one of my strategy teaching my student, or you can do this for yourself to remember the character, to find the origin, to design a graphic, if you know how to do it, to remember the character, how to recognize the character. Let's just talk about how to recognize the character. Okay, 面包 bread. Okay, so the next one, you see the left one, traditional, 面包 bread, simplify, 面, they just take one part. Okay, I personally like this one. I'm biased, sorry. Okay, so now I just give you very, very practical examples of how you can remember the character and the origin of traditional character and how the simplified one take from the traditional one, become the simplified one. Okay, so let me know if I'm clear so far. I'm so afraid that I'm not clear enough. Okay, 我这样讲有清楚吗? Let me know in the comment if you understand what I say so far. Okay, am I being clear myself for the explanation? If not, let me know, which part you don't understand. I really want you to understand what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm biased too. Okay. 好，可以吗? You guys understand? I want to make sure that you all understand what I say. Yeah. Clear, because so I can go on. I want to make sure that you don't have any problems and questions during my explanations. 对，应该有清楚吧？好，谢谢，谢谢。好，好，好。Then I can go on. Okay, so I just use the one example, 面, noodles or dough, and we learn 面 and the 面包. Okay, how to recognize the 汉字面 and 面包. And then we also know that 面, the character, has the left component and the right component. Good. Let's move on. 那我们继续咯。好，面包，面包。Let's take a look at other example, traditional versus simplified. 我们再来看一下哈，来左边的地方 the left side 是 traditional, the left side is traditional, the right side is simplified, okay? I gave you the design of the traditional one. The left one, 书, this is book. The character for book, 书. This design, this graphic, the photo that you see on the left side was actually from one of my French students. He's learning traditional character, and the reason that he's learning traditional because he was studying in Taiwan before and working in Taiwan before, and also he's more interested in learning traditional ones. And one day he told me, I said, don't you think that simplified ones are easier to recognize and understand? And surprisingly, my French student, he told me, no, I think traditional ones are easier to understand and recognize because more strokes, more component give me more clue to understand the meaning of the word. And he just gave me that example. This is one of my French students. He told me that I think, for example, the character 书 book, you have a lot of horizontal line, a lot of horizontal strokes. That gives me the clue like a stack of books. This idea was actually coming from one of my French students. He told me, I was like, yeah, right. And then he told me the simplified one. I don't know what's wrong with the simplified one. You have one dot on the right side. What does that mean? He said he doesn't understand the logic of the simplified. That's his opinion. Of course, if you think simplify is easier, then that's your opinion. People are different. But in his eyes, he thinks that the traditional one, because it's more component, it's more strokes, that gives him more clue to recognize the character. Okay, if you agree with that, with my French student, and I also think so, if you agree with us, let me know in the comment, agree or not. If you don't agree, that's okay. I would also like to know why you don't agree. Okay, let me know what you think. Okay, so the second one is horse. Because, the four dots below, that's 4 legs, right? So they just changed that to one line. Ma, horse. I think they are basically the same. And maybe I'm just so used to the traditional ones, so the simplified one really doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? So also this is the reason I want to teach traditional characters in my course, because I cannot teach something that doesn't convince me. If that makes sense to you, I don't feel comfortable teaching something that I'm not biased, or it doesn't convince me, or it doesn't appeal to me, if that makes sense to you. All right, let's take a look at another example. Okay, 车, this is car, 车, the character. The left one is the shape of a car. Well, actually, the original origin, because I couldn't find the image for the design, thousands of years ago, they don't have the real like machine car, they had carriage. So the car 车, this traditional Hanzi was actually coming from the carriage. So the front stroke, the upper stroke, that's the 2 horse or the wheel, and right here is also the wheel. And inside the middle component right here was actually the image of the cars. Yeah, car, the carriage. If you can imagine that, I'll try to find a photo if I have time. But this is the origin of this character, 汉字车. And on the right side is the simplified one. And I don't understand why. I really don't understand. I can make that up. Like if I teach simplified one, I can make it up. But again, I cannot convince myself teaching something I I think doesn't make any sense. Okay, 车, the last one. So, to sum up, I think this is what I want to say. Yes, traditional characters, they have more strokes in writing. So if you love writing so much and you don't want to write so many strokes, that doesn't make any sense if a person likes to write and doesn't want to write so many strokes. Okay, if you need to write traditional characters, or if you need to write characters, but you don't have to write so many strokes, it also doesn't make any sense. Who needs to write a lot nowadays? People are using computers right now, right? So anyway, if you want to learn writing Chinese character, but you don't want so many strokes, choose simplified one. Really, choose simplified one, because traditional one, yes, more stroke. But in my opinion, it's easier to recognize, because with more stroke, you have more features, you have more clues to recognize the character. Also, you get to know the origin of the character. In my opinion, you can have your own opinion. That is okay. Okay, I also like to hear and see your opinion later. Now, let's take a look at different examples. I love. Okay, this is a classic example, right? So the origin, like the traditional character, you have a heart, 心. We learned from our previous live stream, 心就是 heart, right? So you have heart in the middle. I think that's the most important component in this character. And I don't understand why simplified character take the most important component from this character. I don't understand what the government is thinking. You know, how can you take a heart from love? If you don't have heart, how can you love? This one is super, doesn't make any sense for simplified characters. Because if you don't have heart, how can you love? This is also one of the reasons I don't teach simplified, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Even I know how to teach, I cannot convince myself to make my student love simplified characters. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. So, love. So, imagine that a person is giving love to the other person. That's love. Okay. So, I'm going to talk about this later, because I got this question from my previous live stream, but I didn't make it to answer. So let me just come back. 我先回来。好，我看一下你们有没有问题。You guys have any question? 我看一下 because a lot of Okay, here says traditional. Era says traditional character keeps the history of Chinese ancestor. Yes, that's true. That is true. I think that if our ancestor is watching or reading the simplified character, I think our ancestors are crying, because they take a lot of important components from the traditional characters. Like, yes. So, cultural revolution and logic. Okay, yeah. 没有问题. So traditional ones, prettier. They had 心. Yeah, I really don't like the idea of taking out the heart, but this is just a very the classic idea. Let's see. 这里说没有问题. Okay. 好，我看一下还有没有别的哦。Let me see. Taiwan. Yeah. Taiwan, simplified Taiwan, and traditional Taiwan. Yes, exactly. How? Let me just answer your questions now and continue. Okay. So, is stroke order important to learn? Okay, I got this question from previous live stream. Yes, definitely. It's definitely very important to learn the traditional character, because your muscles can remember the way you write. So the more you write, your muscle can remember. It's not your brain. It's your hand muscles. Remember how to write it. I think it's your I don't know how to say that. It's like your biological like reaction to something. For example, you learn how to swim. Okay. Once your body, it's like learning swimming. Once your body learn how to swim, your hands, your legs know how to move, with different styles. Even like for a very, very long time, even like you haven't swim in a long time, when you come back to swim, you still know how to do it because your muscles remember. I think it's like swimming. So handwriting is the same. If you write the character, the component, you practice that with the stroke order, with the correct stroke order again, and again, then your muscle can remember. For example, this character, Ko, the stroke order is 1, 2, 3. Let me show you again. 1, 2, 3. So once you know how to write this character, this component, and next time, if you see or you learn different characters with the same component, you already know how to write half of this. Like for example, the first one is 吃, to eat. The left part is your mouth. The left part is your mouth. But you already know how to write this component, this part. So you don't have to learn again. So it is important. And also, sometimes our like native speaker, we will, like, if we want to tell people something, sometimes we write like, oh, you know this word, and then sometimes we write in the air. If you know the correct stroke order, you can guess what people are writing in the air. And we also, when we were young, me and my sister, we used to play a very stupid game. Like when we were really bored, we used to play a very stupid game. Is I want my sister say, okay, you write something on my back. Like we play this guessing game, character guessing game. I want my, like, when we were very bored, when we were a child, and I asked my sister, okay, now let's take turn to write character in each other's back. So my sister will write something on my back, and I need to feel what did she write on my back according to the feel and according to the stroke order. So if you have a study partner, like if you have a friend who's also learning Chinese character, you can also play this game for fun. Like if you really know like how to write a character with the right order, the stroke order, then you can play this game. It's stupid, but it's fun. And when we were young, sometimes we played this game, guessing what character is the person writing on my back. We will also have this, competition who had more right guesses. Yeah. So just so you know, that's kind of fun. Okay. And sometimes my sister will write something, my name, on my back. And I'll say, did you just write my name? Or sometimes my sister I would write something like really naughty, something, I don't know, foul language, just for fun. I would just write a foul language on her back. And she said, did you just write some foul language? So it's kind of fun. Okay, so yes. So if you keep the basic stroke order rules in mind, you don't have to memorize all the stroke order rules, okay? So learning the stroke order is important because your muscle can remember. And to keep the basic stroke order in mind is very important. So from left to right, from top to bottom, that's the basic stroke order. But don't stress yourself out to remember or to memorize all the stroke order. You don't memorize. Again, You don't memorize the short order. You write the short order. Let your hand, let your muscles to remember, not your head. Okay, so here is the thing: the more repetition writing the more repetition writing you do, and your hand muscle will do the work to memorize it. So your job is to do more repetition writing, and your hand muscle will do the work to memorize it. Your hand muscle will do the work to memorize it. Your head, your brain does not have to do anything. Okay? So, lastly, if you like today's lesson, please do me a favor to share this live stream to your friend who need to learn Chinese character, and also turn on all your notification bell of my YouTube channel, because this month in September, I'm going to have a series of Hanzi live stream, because I want to give you the basic knowledge and mindset of learning Chinese characters, especially traditional Chinese character. If you're interested to know, your friends interested to know, help me to share this live stream and previous one, and you can download this PDF file that I just showed you to review this live stream. The download link is in the description. Also, if you haven't downloaded our free guide, Learn 30 Common Chinese Radical Instantly, the link is also in the description. Let me see if you guys have any other questions before we do the wrap up. 我看一下还有没有问题。OK， 对，没有，大家都在笑吗？很可爱吗？ Yes, I think the bag writing game is cute. I think it's cute. 对对对，好。这里来 from Scooter, short order make character easier to write, character quickly, takes a less mental process. 对， easier to read other people's handwriting. Yes, we also had this interview with the CEO of Scooter on my YouTube channel. So if you search Scooter, or if you search Chinese character, you definitely see that interview. That's a very good one. Okay, 谢谢你。对。And again, if you have a friend, a native speaker friend, and if you're learning how to write Chinese character, you can play this game with your friend, and you can tell your Chinese or Taiwanese friend, say, hey, write something on my back. Okay, see if you can guess. That's kind of fun. Okay, that's how I did with my sister when we were young. Okay, maybe you can write some foul language. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, just for fun. 好，我继续来 ，Let's continue. 我要把它讲完。来，接下来 the next live stream, we're going to talk about strategies to learn Chinese characters. Okay, so yep, strategy. So some people ask me how to memorize Chinese character, and it's in my next live stream. It's been scheduled. It's next week, Friday. When? I forgot. 8:30 something. Okay, just see the schedule. Okay, I have too many things to remember. How? So, and also, I would like to share you another things. Hold on, 等一下，我看一下，在这里。This one. How? I also give you the link in the description. There is a free lessons. Okay. This website. This is my website, and you can watch the free video lesson learning Chinese character Hanzi. This is a free trial lesson for you if you want to know more about Chinese character. But this course is not open for enrollment yet. Not yet. But you can see the curriculum and my students' testimonial. And also the free lesson for you right here. And if you're interested, also the link is down below. So I have 3 links down below. First is the page of this trial lesson. And the second is learn 30 Chinese characters instantly. And number 3 is our live stream PDF file 3 links down below if you're interested. 还有什么我要说的吗？我先想一下。I guess that's all. And if you're interested to become my student, then not yet because the course is not open. I am thinking to open the course on September 23rd. But yeah, probably it's September 23rd to 29th. So make sure if you're interested, make sure to turn on all the notification bell to my channel. Sorry, it's hard to speak a foreign language with my braces. That is all. You guys have any questions? 有没有问题？可是我们今天 actually we learned a lot today. We learned how to write noodles and not write, how to recognize noodles and how to recognize 面包 bread with all the beautiful design I made. Okay, now before we finish, let me see. 你们看这是什么东西？我看一下。对不起，老师，我忘了今天你的直播啦。直播是 live stream 直播，谢谢。OK。我觉得 traditional 汉字有点难，其实汉字都很难。Actually, it's all very difficult， 都很不容易。Let's not say difficult. Let's say challenging. Let's just change our mindset. It's not difficult. It's challenging. It's challenging. Okay, you'll feel like easier when you learn if you change the mindset. Not saying difficult all the time. Just say it's challenging. 很有挑战，好不好？很有挑战，它不是很难，就是很有挑战。Okay, 我觉得都很有挑战欸。Actually, they're both very challenging. If you're a zero beginner, you had no knowledge about Chinese character, they're both very challenging. 其实都差不多啦。对 ，Enjoy your lesson. 谢谢你 ，Ruth， 谢谢你 ，Me too， 是一样吗 ？OK， 好，来，谢谢大家。那我们就下个礼拜见。你看这个礼拜 ，this weekend, you got a lot to learn. My 3 PDF file, my 2 live stream replay you can watch and learn, and 1 trial lesson that you can learn. So I think, I'm not sure, but I think this week, because it's Sunday now, this week, 应该这个礼拜是没有 this week I don't have podcast, but I had live stream lessons. Yep, that is it. Okay, if I have more time, I'll do something more next week, but we'll see. Okay, that's all for now. 就这样子啦。还要记得就是下个礼拜 next week 下个礼拜五 next Friday we're going to have a live stream talking about strategies to memorize Chinese character. And before I go, 我要给你们赶快 follow me on my Instagram, Smart Mandarin Katrina Lee, because I share a lot of resources on my Instagram. So that is all for today. Thank you for being with me. 谢谢你们。然后看应该没有，谢谢。Thank you so much, 老师 for the better. 好，谢谢你们。那我们就下个礼拜见，再见喽，拜拜。